All right, people, what is going on? This is episode 410 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern Atlanta Falcons football. Before I get started, I know if y'all watching this on the screen, I'll let you guys know that I'm looking at the visuals and my two cameras showing two different colors on my orange shirt. One looks orange, one looks like an off-white or real bad looking. I don't even know what sherbet looking. I'm gonna have to get a new camera. it just looks bad. I don't like it. I'm gonna probably get another new camera to set this up. So, excuse me. I just want to let y'all know what is going on. If you're listening to this on the podcast side, it looks pretty bad. Nevertheless, if this is your first time here, welcome to the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern Atlanta Falcons football. Once again, I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. Also, I'm on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Today, we're going to talk about running back Jalen White, running back for the Georgia Southern Eagles, a guy that I've been really, really big on from day one. I remember when he was recruited from Daleville, Alabama, from the old regime. Chad Lunsford then was able to get him out of Alabama and bring him in as a Georgia Southern Eagle. And this kid has been very patient, waiting his turn, and now it's his time. We're going to talk about this kid and what I think that he should thrive in this offense. We're talking a lot about Kyle Van Treese in the passing game and all this other stuff going on because we're getting away from the running game that much. As much as we used to run it, we're getting away from that. But I want you guys to understand that we have some running backs that can play very well. There's been rumblings not only with Jalen White, but other running backs that we'll talk on a different episode. But today we're going to talk about Jalen White. I'm going to give you my reasons why he should thrive in this offense. I already got through the intro or whatever the case may be. I want to thank you guys for the support. Everybody who's been watching and listening, you guys have been awesome. From the Georgia Southern stuff to the Atlanta Falcons stuff, numbers have been looking great. I cannot thank you guys enough. Let's go ahead and get into this. Let me tell you something about this kid, Jalen White. I'm going to tell you something about him. This kid from Daleville, Alabama, set some records. I want to go through his high school career on up. And I'm gonna give you, this is the reasons why I'm going to let you know that I think he would thrive in this offense. High school, he played at Daleville High. First team All-USA selection by USA Today. In 11 games in 2019. And I know I talked about this in an earlier episode a while back, probably sometime last year, but I'm going to talk about it again. In 11 games, this kid ran for 3,517 yards. That set an Alabama state record. He set a state single game scoring record. This kid scored 8 touchdowns in the first half against Barber County. Sorry, Barber County. I don't know who you guys are, but man, I mean, nevertheless, I don't need to go any further with that if I don't want to, but I'm going to continue to say it. Finished third in voting of Mr. Football, named state all-super state team. He rushed for 400 yards 3 times. What year was this? I think this was all in 2019, I want to say that. He rushed 419, 462, and 465. Carried the ball for 217 times for 16.2 yard average, 48 touchdowns, and 14 2-point conversions. And for some reason, this kid I think he was the 90th running back in the country in 2019. Why? I don't know. But nevertheless, played 12 games in 2020 and 2021. I'll say it. He didn't play that much that first year. I didn't want to get too much in that. He didn't play too much that year. Last year, he played a good bit in 2022. Played 12 games. Played 201 total snaps. That was up from 2021 was 114 total snaps. But this is the flip side. In 2020, 2021, he had 35 snaps on offense and 79 on special teams. Flip this back to 2021, 2022, he had 170 on offense and 31 on special teams. So I want to let you guys know this guy has been waiting his time. Played against Arkansas State 13 times for 157. That was the highlight that he had. Also, he ran the ball 10 carries for 10 carries for 82 yards and 2 touchdowns against Texas State. Also had 2 touchdowns in the Arkansas State game. Had 9 carries for 38 yards against BYU. That's a game that I really wish you would have had more carries in that game, but I really don't want to go back to the BYU game. I mean, you can go look at that episode. It wasn't even an episode, it was a video I did. It was a reaction to the game after the game was over. That's one I believe, honestly, we kind of let slip away. I'm not even gonna lie. But that's another story for another day as well. 2022, 2023. Jalen White is RB1. With this new offense, we're gonna be passing a little bit more. I'm gonna tell you something right now. It's gonna open up some lanes for this kid. And this one guy, based on the numbers I told you guys, even in 2021 when he had the chance to play, because you also have to understand, he wasn't running back one back last year. You know, he just wasn't. You had other running backs. You had Joe Green. You had some other guys that was here that really, pretty much was the running backs, and he was like third on the depth chart. Now he's jumped up to number 1. Now we're looking at a guy that's probably going to be able to flourish. I mean, you got guys who can catch the ball all over the field. I've been hearing rumblings that we have anywhere up to maybe 6 to 7 wide receivers that could be wide receiver number 1 that are playing at a high level, who are doing really good things during practice and during fall camp or whatever the case may be. It's going to open up lanes for this kid. I don't know if this kid's going to be averaging 16 yards a carry. I mean that's just ridiculous. But I see at least 6, maybe even 7 yards a carry. We got so many weapons on this team. You're not going to know where this is, what's going to happen. You're just not going to know. Even when you turn around and throw a Gerald Green in there, or Omari Arnold, which is another kid that's actually, watch out for that kid. Watch out for that kid. That's all I'll say, because that kid looks, he looks like he can make something happen based on what I've seen in his high school days and what I think he's capable of doing if he's able to get some space. But when you look at Jalen White, change of pace running back, when guys are just tired of tackling people, when guys are just tired of getting hit, standing at 6 foot, 220, 215 pounds, put on some weight if you actually watch what he's done from last year to this year with the strength and conditioning coach. When you're looking at what these guys have been going through this offseason, this kid looks like he could be the best running back in the Sun Belt. I can't think of anybody else that's out there now that's actually on his level. To be honest, I'm very biased, so I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm very biased, so I don't really know about any of our guys, any other teams, which I've been slipping. I need to start looking into that stuff, which we'll double and dabble in that as the season gets closer. But I've been big on this kid from day one. I've been very huge on Jalen White. Jalen White has been one of those kids where I was super surprised that we picked this kid up out of Alabama. The numbers that this kid put up, the things that he's done, I don't know what 247sports.com is thinking this guy was number 90, ranked in 2019. I don't even know what's going on there, but that's another. I don't even want to get into that. 27sports.com has been really iffy lately, but nevertheless, I'm surprised that Georgia Southern was able to pick him up. When I knew they picked him up, I knew that this kid was going to be one of those guys that will flourish in the old offense. The problem is that offense just wasn't ran. I don't think that offense was ever ran to perfection. I don't think it was ran properly, not only just because of personnel, but just the old staff. But that's another story for another day. When you're looking at him coming over to Georgia Southern, I was like, yo, he's going to be good. This is what we need. We want a guy who can run like this. I remember on Twitter when it found out he committed, and people were like, wow, what? We got this guy? I mean, I said, yo, look at the numbers that this guy put up. People on Twitter was like really, really excited. Now you're looking at a situation where the offense has changed, where Coach Clay Helton already said he's going to be passing the ball, he's going to be more aggressive downfield, and I have no problem with that. This is what we need. We need to be more aggressive downfield. We need to be moving up with the modern style of football. Triple option is great. Spread option is cool. Matter of fact, I don't want to get away from the spread option. I just don't want to see a bunch of dive plays. People in the Discord know what I'm talking about when I say that. I think a lot of other people do too. But like I said, I have no problem with the spread option. Let's get the ball on the outside and let these guys move. Not only this kid is 6 foot 215, this kid got speeds. He has a mix between power and speed, where a guy like him and you got other guys behind him that are more of a speedster and actually can still break tackles at the same time. But when you got more guys like a Bruiser, like a Jalen White or a Terrence Gibbs, you're looking at a situation now where these kids are going to be able to mix it up not only with the passing game, but the running game as well. And when you have this type of talent in the backfield, it gets to the point where it's like pick your poison. Like I said, we already talked about Kyle Van Treese, how well he's been doing things. They're saying that he's going to be the first string quarterback. You got Colton Fitzgerald there, Connor Sikowski, Zach Roseman. You got a lot of guys that are here that are going to be doing some good things. You got a lot of guys that are going to be able to produce at a high level. Now, I just talked about all the quarterbacks. Now you're talking about the wide receivers, the Marcus Sanders, the Derwin Burgess, the Sam Kinnersons, the tight ends, J.J. McCaffrey, Bo Johnson. We got guys. Let me tell you something about this team. A lot of people give this team a lot of flack because of what they haven't done in the past 3-4 years, and I get it. I want a lot of people to understand that we've had a lot of athletes that were just trying their best to be successful in an offense that just was not their strength. Just was not their, even if you have a Kyle Van Treese or whatever the case may be. Y'all have to understand, Shai Werts covered up a lot of stuff. You have to understand Wesley Kennedy, Wesley Fields, I can't remember his name. It was Montero, number 15. Nevertheless, we had a lot of running backs that covered up a lot of stuff. People in the backfield covered up a lot for Georgia Southern. We weren't able to throw the ball like we wanted to when we had guys like a Darion Anderson and Mashad and like even Wesley Kennedy going out there catch passes. We had a lot. Caleb Hood is another one. These guys covered up a lot for this offense. Now, a lot of these guys, even with the transfers, a lot of these guys are still being held over. Going to be put in a situation where this offense is going to be much more catered to their strengths. Much more catered to their strengths. And it just so happens that we have quarterbacks that are more traditional passers. And it's not a knock against Shai Werts or whatever. It's not a knock against him. The thing with Shai fit the mold of what we were trying to do at the time for Georgia Southern. He fit it perfectly. He was just so able to learn how to throw, as his career progressed. But what he did exactly what he was supposed to do at Georgia Southern. But now we have more traditional stand in the pocket, not going to run so much type of quarterbacks that's going to distribute the ball. And when you distribute the ball amongst the receivers that I just named not too long ago, guys like Jalen White is going to be able to flourish. And this is one guy you do not want in the open field. Well, defenses anyway. Do not want to see this guy in the open field. I've seen what he's able to do. So, at the end of the day, Jalen White should be able to, thrive, flourish. He should be getting all Sun Belt honors. And I'm naming it now. Barring injury, I'm naming it now. He should get all Sun Belt honors after the season is over. Because I feel like with everything that's going on, first of all, people are not going to be able to prepare for what, the passing game. They're not. People still think we're running a triple option. Some people still think that we're going to be catering to the option because of the fact that we're in a transitional state. Let them keep thinking that. Let them keep thinking that. But I think this kid right here is going to flourish because once they don't know what hit him, he's going to come around and smack him in the face and run right at him. Him and a couple other running backs. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see. If you like this commentary, hit the like button and share this podcast. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Jalen White, man, what you guys think? You think I'm tripping? You don't think he's not going to be able to do anything? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the feedback area. Let me know on Twitter. I am at VFBaller. All the links are down in the description. I am on YouTube and Rumble, also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And we're going to keep chugging right along. It is Thursday. Hopefully you guys are getting closer and closer to watch what these guys do. They're about to have a scrimmage. It's gonna be a lot of football gonna be talked about within the next 4 or 5 days. The Falcons are gonna be doing their preseason. Georgia Southern is gonna have their first scrimmage. I mean, it's a good time, guys. Don't be like these guys who come around in the comment section, which I don't want to name, that want to talk about our current coach. Yes, they're still doing that. Unbelievable. It's gonna be a good time, man. Enjoy it. Come over to the Discord. I'll be posting that on Twitter every now and then. Come over to the Discord and talk some Georgia Southern football. Have fun. Enjoy it. Football season is here. And we're going to be talking about more players along with guys like Jalen White. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys on Friday. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. You guys take it easy and you guys be blessed. Peace.